Welcome back to Mindset Shift with me, Yonela Gota, the Black Olive herself. With me for part 2 of the interview, the pilot episode, is Mr. Betusile Mcinga, an award-winning gospel artist who's traveled abroad, who's been doing very big things within the music industry. Mr. Mcinga, welcome on the hot seat with me today.
Hi. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much. Now, lovely viewers, we're going to get straight into it, right? We've seen you do a lot of things. Ubisi, like you do a lot of things. There's sanitary towels here, there's drum music there, there's collaborations there, there's gospel music. Who is Betusile Mcinga and what does Betusile Mcinga stand for?
Oh yeah, Betusile Mcinga. I'm a rural boy from Willowvale. I was born in Willowvale,
yes.
In a rural area called Kamshe, down Gaselwande.
Okay.
And Kulele Corner.
Sea breeze.
Yeah, and Kulele Corner. Tina was Kules Malik Sunday.
Yeah, wow. That time Tina Matola was looking beyond these pencil skirts.
Yeah, so yeah, and Kulele Corner and everything
yeah.
I came here in Tata, I think 1999, and this all is full yeah. But you know that I think according to your intro, and the gospel artist, and I'm leading a ministry on gospel music. Now, yeah,
that is you.
That is me.
That is actually the biggest part that people know you as. So we are not misdirected as
no, not at all.
All right, perfect. Now, tell me something. Maternally, you come from greatness. You're the son of gospel singer of a spiritual group, Lusanda Mcinga,
yes.
right? And we grew up listening to her. We grew up okay, my voice is offline today. So but we grew up listening to her. We grew up listening to her, and Yakumbula loved her so much. Why venture, every single day. So tell me something. There's that giant footstep. Right, that footprint rather, right, that she has put on the ground. Did it have any influence on you? Were there any expectations of how you might turn out when, as a person, did she have any sort of influence into how you turned out, the music genre that you chose? Did you have any pressures growing up? Okay, therefore, therefore. Or did you just sort of like pave your own way? Because it does happen. It does happen that you are born into a certain family, but it's not necessarily their influence. It's something that you also would have picked up on your own, even if they were not there. So how was it actually? Which stencil was it that actually shaped and cut your future and your choices with gospel music?
Hey, ndiyava abantu besithi ke ndikhule ngoku sendimdala abantu besithi uba ngunyana kaMsana, the famous singer. Mna ndikhule actually ndisazi umama as a hustler. Because when I was young, my mother was singing a Khayelitsha train station, ekhalisa isigidi sakhe abeke itoti enkofu phambi kwakhe, so that people, when they are coming from training, badlulise imali. She would do that thing at Park Station in Cape Town. She would do that thing at Waterfront in Cape Town. So I was still young, looking at her, but all I know, umama wayehustlisha so that so I didn't know the Lusanda abantu bamcholo, the celebrity.
Yes.
But now can't figure a high school up in Tata. Hey, I used to get a lot of pressure now because she was already famous, singing as TV and all that. But now I used to get a lot of pressure. Sometimes we didn't pay imali school fees like other kids. But now, school ingathi ngoku nyathi ngunyana kaMandela lungabhatalanga school fees okanye ngunyana we-owner yesikolo, you know. Abantu, they didn't know that being someone who's famous doesn't necessarily means that you are wealthy,
successful,
you know.
wealthy.
Yeah, so
wealthy, not successful. Success is a different dynamic altogether.
Yeah. So now kwakhona nje leyo confusion, and as a boy child, like I was doing my naughty things with other boys of my age, you know, and now that's really by highlight ngoba babe siyobi basic globally now sekusithwa unyana kalusana bomba ingathi issue leyo ba mna unyana kalusana. Now I think I until ndafikelela kwe age yokuba nami ndike ndiziqonde how actions affect brand,
sort of like a self-introspection.
Yes. Because now you often uphela yena efela izono ze mistakes zethu singabantu sibe nathi singabantwana singazenzi mistakes, you know. But we had to go through that phase so that we may learn, so that not classes and brands we may be able to teach or imagine how to handle themselves to protect ikhaya labo.
My glow in the dark, the yellow ball. To busy glow in the dark.
Yeah, so now I get to know in Lokba umama xa esithi xa siphume ekhaya. Xa uhamba usiya phaya esikolweni, you must know that umcinga ayinguwanga, but umcinga represents all of us. Now whatever that you do, akuzuthiwa nguBetusile, but kuyothiwa nguBetusile Mcinga. Now xa kuthiwa umcinga, ifamily yethu yonke uyifaka phansi kwale nto oyenzayo imbi. Yeah, also I get to understand.
So there's that spectacle that you grow up having to make sure it's in the right position. All right. Now, the industry within which you operate is what other people may say is a double-edged sword, like a guguraf. Like we see people complaining every day. We see artists dying hungry. We see people saying akomala, but we see people getting exploited by the record labels that they join, you know, hoping ukuthi they're going to be in pursuit of their dreams, only to end up, you know, getting pennies for their hard work, for sleepless nights and all these the gigs that they actually attend. Sorry. Tell me something. How has your journey been? Your personal journey, not the ones we hear about on social media, and I can imagine it hasn't been easy. But how has it been, and how have you handled those challenges?
Yeah, one, the ukungena kwam kwi-industry yomculo. I started working behind the scenes as the producing of Mazaki.
Okay. At
I've
what ages, if you can remember?
I think I was still at high school. I was doing 8 when I learned how to play
15, 16.
Yeah. So I produced some of the songs. Zaki, one of my highlights.
I'm sorry to heckle you. I just want to know this. Which song became famous that you were actually involved in producing, so that you just really say, this thing, you were born with it?
I first did Ingoma AICT. Which song? I first did a song Ingoma that I featured on AICT.
Okay.
I did that song because Ndanza featured album. Amazingly, when we did that song, there was Umamu Brenda Fast in studio. There was Lucky Dube in studio.
I liked it.
Because that's recorded it downtown. And when I sang that song, Mamu Brenda.
Is that where the dreadlocks came from? Lucky Dube? Or
no.
I'm just kidding. Carry on.
God again, he was my role model.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah, he was my role model. Mamu Brenda tried when I sang that song, and then now everyone was like, yeah, Bomba. I never saw myself in the band mic in the Tula
But even today, you're not much of a talker.
Yeah, I'm not. But I'm a different person when I'm on stage.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So that's when now learned to sing in maybe this is my calling as well. Yeah, but I did ingoma for Mam Lusanda. I said ngumfokazi lapha emhlabeni mfundisi. That won her award, the summer award. So that was my biggest achievement before I even entered
became a brand of your own. Lovely.
If you remember, Mam Lusanda, ingoma zakhe zakudala wayedlala igita and kudlala umbambamba. There was no keyboard, so I'm the one who came up with
the
this
idea of.
But no, man.
Let's just branch out into technology.
Let's try to add some stuff because now, as a keyboard player, then it can't speak less showing, but abanye kudlala drums and ubone vibe estadium. And then thina kasawufika sibetha bambamba ngathi ngamadodana sewesile yabo. And then I saw as much as babantu bemthanda Mam Lusanda,
you also needed to add that element.
The a cappella, because she was more often a cappella singer, because the guitar was just accompanying the voices. So now, as much as babantu bemthanda, but now it's hard to perform these songs in bigger venues, as in a crowd and And now she was moving from just being a gospel artist, ebizwa nakwezinye festivals, secular music, So now we needed something that is our bridge and
your visibility on stage.
Drums and vibrant.
Okay, so tell me something. If you were to change something about this industry, what would it be? The music industry, that is, to be specific.
Hey, that's very hard. I think the only thing I would add, not change, especially to people who are leading the industry, is honesty.
Honesty, okay.
Yeah, and a passion of a passion not to exploit each other, because I've learned something from these guys that's Pakistanis and as in a business.
The economies of scale where they actually
those guys, if you come
together
to their shop and you want to buy if frame, if steel,
you don't work
akati and nayo uthi map
they call the other one
athi lona nayo phone lomi until they get it by the Now if singana la ngqondo yokukhulisana and yokusupportana, ndiyazi if ndine contact yalapha kule TV station that I'm in now, omnye ugxawam doesn't have the contact. I share the contact so that now, because the reality is that maybe this is the last time I'm here for the whole season. I will be here maybe next year, concerning the second season. But now, the contact it's not going to help. Instead of giving others who might need the platform for their promotions
and exposure.
I think if businesses collaborate.
Okay. Whew. So tell me something. Every single person, including myself, as I sit here today in front of you, has that one thing that keeps them going. That weapon, I'm going to see this through. You understand? That weapon that you carry with you. What is that weapon for you?
It's the verse from Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens. That is my verse.
And apart from that verse, it's understanding where you're coming from and where you are and where you want to see yourself in the future. Now, ndichilo nathi nisuka ezilalini welofeli. Ezilalini zethu xa ujongile, you can't think that kungakhona into ebhadlileyo nophuma. Kusekhona obamama baqaba imbola, bathwala iqhiya ezinkulu, batshaya inqobo ezibalipholile. So you'd never think that there's someone from Paya only afumana gig go UK, perform USA, or perform in kwezinye countries.
The magnitude.
Now mna ndisoloko ndiphila ngale nto yoba never allow your background
to limit you.
determine your future. In everything that I do, I never allow a situation enkuyo into yoba mayidetermine. Uba namhlanje I've failed to achieve it, ndivuka kusasa ndizixelele uba ngomso I will try again.
It's a new slate.
Yeah.
You're going to write a different script.
You know, I'm always motivated. You know, impukane. Abantu ke ba motivated zizilwanyana ezikhulu, eagles, non motivated impukane.
Mr. Vini, hyena eyakhe, but anyways,
Demotivated impukane mna.
yes.
Impukane izalelwa emgqomeni endaweni enukayo, where you'll never think that there is life unophuma khona. But impukane flies all the way. Iyofela etini yakho, iyofela etini ka Mr. Vini, iyofela etini ka Mfundisi, iyofela etini ka President, because it doesn't allow a background yayo ukuthi may determine the future yayo.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I live my life.
I never looked at it like that.
Mna, as you see me today,
Yes.
I'm performing in big stages.
Yeah.
But when I started singing in taxi ranks. In street corners, lapha ezidolophini koMthatha, Cape Town, Queenstown, all over South Africa, selling my CDs.
On that note, what has been your lowest moment in life?
I think the lowest moment would not feeling the presence of God in my life. But the most experience that I've had that I might say maybe it was the lowest moment was when I slept at Park Station in Joburg. Dio Kangela, song in the TV, you know. We slept there, Safuga Hlamba nge 5 rand, we showers and walked from Park Station.
Does that they allow you something like that?
Yeah, they have showers. I didn't even know that.
I
In a class of Fuga kusasa there's as a bench by his doing and I'm an umfanicho myamalizon. Now class in the morning, class Fuga,
you're all ashy and nyabonaga.
yeah, so these people that were sleeping around us, they told us, but we showers by 5 rand.
So you went and you spruced yourself up for the hustle, the pinch and everything else that you had to do.
And when we appeared on TV, like no one would say,
we were
Park Station number 1, you know, who were nice and
spruced up. It's layer. All right, so family. Let's talk about family.
yes.
Let's talk about personal stuff. Like I said, the show is a multi-faceted show where we discuss very different topics. We want to give people an insight into things that they have no idea of, and often things that they draw their conclusions of that is not necessarily how they actually are.
Yeah.
You're married.
Yes.
Right. Ukhona uMrs. Mcinga, guys, listen.
Yeah.
There is uMrs. Mcinga, Mama ka Imange. Right.
Yes.
How many years has it been, and how has married life been treating you? How does it ground you? What has it been doing for you as a person?
2020 we were celebrating 10 years together.
Woo! A decade.
As a married couple.
Okay.
I think I was blessed with someone who's like me, who doesn't like spotlight, who doesn't like to involve herself in many
It's so
things.
funny how you don't like it's so funny how a person who does not like to be used is always the spotlight. Like, guys, I don't know about you, right? Every video that I watched during Easter, which we are going to get into his current heat that he's now promoting, Uyavuma. Every video I said, like he was everywhere, and you were performing at a lot of churches.
Yes,
also. I saw your social media pages and your feeds, and when I spoke to Ulaki, Nipi, I say, Unipi guys, you know, you were busy. So okay, so she also doesn't like the spotlight like you like.
Yeah, she's very shy. She doesn't like spotlight. Cool. And another thing, I think Yonando that kept us together is to understanding each other's characters and supporting each other, you know, in many ways. Yonando is
The reason why I'm asking you guys this question, which I asked my Mr. Vincent, is that interviews often leave out people's personal lives, and that is a very important part in a person's life, especially marriage, because it has that grounding factor to some other people.
Yes,
And then
yeah.
there are those ones, but to most men, there's that grounding factor. In order for us to get this fully cooked Betusile that we see on stage, there has to be a wife that says, oh, your shirt is not nicely ironed out, your dreadlocks need attention, you understand if laser, buy this, don't do this, don't do that, compose yourself in this manner. That is why I'm bringing these topics into life, because they often get neglected, and they are the most important behind the scenes part.
You might be a CEO of a big company, but there's only one person you can pull you down and make you grounded, your wife or your partner.
Let's not neglect the wives, guys.
Yeah.
Or the husbands.
Your partner have that authority of telling you that no, Betusile, you are wrong. You are wrong. You shouldn't be doing this or that,
And you also have a person to rise above each challenges now.
Yes. When you're doing good, ukhona umuntu okuthepha up a shoulder at no, you did well, I think we need that.
What would you say is the biggest downfall of people within your industry, people who are surrounded by the spotlight, people who are surrounded by pressures following that spotlight and all these expectations that people draw from their status within their community?
I think Yonandubali is to have someone that you look up to, someone that is kind of mentoring, someone that always fill your cup when it's empty, Now I've collaborated with many people who are not in my industry. I work with Vincent, Venice Steak and Drill. I work with many people who are on other industries. Because what I understand is that when I have a challenge, in my speed dial, I must have a number of someone. Not someone maybe will give me money for my challenge, but someone will give me advice that will lead me to my solution of the challenge that I have. So I think we need that. The reason most artists they end up on drugs, it's because they are giving without them being refilled. So we give a lot until we are empty. Now we try to fill that empty space with all this alcohol and drugs. But if you had someone who will speak life in you, someone will make sure that your emotional well-being is taken good care of. I think all of us will be there.
All right, just close to wrapping it up. What do you do for fun? What is that one thing you're going to laugh from lens? It's that moment for you. It's so good.
I think when I'm around with my friends, people that I'm comfortable with, I can laugh from lens. And when I'm at home with my kids, I play with my kids. I don't become their father, but I want to be their friend. So when I'm home, I'm free to do anything. No one judges me at home. I'll come to Zauti. Betusile, a gospel singer, those kids, they want me on my shorts playing soccer with them.
Dear friend. Betusile, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been amazing, it's been fruitful, it's been informative, and it's been all the more refreshing to have you on the couch with me today.
Thank you very much, and congratulations for having this show.
Thank you.
It's a good platform that will uplift and promote many upcoming people in different sectors. We hope that Nani, you grow until Nibe go multi-choice abazayo.
Thank you for those words of encouragement. One thing that I forgot to do, because we are considerate people who do not make people leave empty-handed.
Thank
Here
you.
is a gesture. Mr. Vinny, you are going to
Ah,
get your
akayifumenanga,
Unayo, he's got it. Akasazagabinayo. So yeah, this is something
guys,
to
it's
just
a
say
written
thank
mindset
you.
shift.
Yes,
It
we
is
brand
possible.
It is.
And thank you for your support. Thank
Yes,
you very
thank you very much,
much.
you guys, for your support.
Thank you.
Guys, that wraps up the pilot episode for Mindset Shift, where we discuss everything economic, political, social, and everything else in between. With me, the Black Olive herself, Yonela Gota, signing out. Next time.